Hello guys. Okay, so we're back with another video. Today we're going to be doing another installment of Women Who Run with Wolves. We're going to be doing chapter 13 and I'm super excited to get into it, but today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm trying my best to edit it as little as possible. So yeah, bear with me. Hopefully that's not like obnoxious. Hopefully you guys don't hear my ums way too often. Hopefully I don't ramble too much. Hopefully I don't pause too much. We'll see. I'm a little bit nervous about this one, to be honest, but I'm trying to get it together, trying to, you know, get my public speaking voice on, I guess, like skills together. Sure. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I already took like 2 takes of this, but I'm really trying to not edit this, so this is gonna be the last one. We're just gonna get into this, and if I fuck up, then this is the real me, y'all. This is the real me. Okay, so I said in the last 2 takes, I have my laptop over here, and I have the book right here, and I'm gonna be looking at those things and not at you guys, or possibly at myself, because I can never stop looking at myself because I film on my phone. Anyways, that's another story. So, getting into the book, chapter 13, Battle Scars, Membership in the Scar Clan. So, throughout the book, we've been using stories, fairy tale stories, as ways to unravel the personal stories of our past, as ways to initiate ourselves into our wild women selves. In this chapter, we discuss the kind of story that women lock away in the deepest of their souls, their secrets. Estes says in the book, this little quote, she said, "A woman's crying has been considered quite dangerous, for it loosens the locks and bolts on the secrets she bears. But to cry, to release these secrets, is to release the wild soul." It's actually good for women, actually all people, but especially women, to cry. It's a release. Side note fact, I thought that I had heard before that women have smaller tear ducts than men, and that's why we cry more. I decided to look that up for this video to let you guys know, but it turns out that's actually not true as far as I found. I could find no scientific proof of that online. However, I did find that men, you know, produce testosterone, and testosterone is a natural tear blocker, whereas prolactin, which is a hormone that women produce exclusively, is a natural tear like producer and promoter. So, interesting fact. Estes says in the book, though, that the best reward for crying and releasing your secrets is the initiation into the Scar Clan. The Scar Clan is the tribe of women, all women everywhere, who have been through something and can still stand proud. When a woman has a secret, especially one shrouded in shame, it's the most important act for her to unravel this story, for it's blocking her instinctive nature. It's in blocking the instinctive nature to be free. The instinctive nature desires to be open. It desires to live out loud, to receive community, and to give also. So if you're hiding something, the very nature of a secret, that inhibits your wild nature. Without even consciously deciding, it influences every area of your life, from the people you choose to be around, from the things that you choose to follow, the interests that you choose to like and dislike, the passions that you allow yourself to follow after, what you allow yourself to believe about your life, where you allow yourself to go in the future, and what kind of life you'll allow yourself to live. It influences all of those things on a subconscious level. because the secret is trying to be kept deep on the inner psyche, so you don't realize it, but it's influencing everything going on. Secrets leave a woman's stories from an epic heroic story to a tragedy. They leave it at the tragedy and don't let it get to the climax. They don't let the story come to its final act. Estes says in the book, "The heroic drama begins with a heroine on a journey. Sometimes she is not psychologically awake. Sometimes she's too sweet and doesn't perceive danger. Sometimes she has already been mistreated and makes the desperate moves of a captured creature. However she begins, the heroine eventually falls into the clutches of whatever or whoever and is sorely tested. Then, through her wit and because she has people who care for her, she is freed and stands taller as a result. In a tragedy, the heroine is snatched, forced, or drives straight into hell, and is subsequently overwhelmed. No one hears her cries, or else her pleas are ignored. She loses hope, loses touch with the preciousness of life, and collapses. Instead of being able to savor her triumph over adversity or her wisdom of choices and her endurance, she is degraded and deadened. The secrets a woman keeps are almost always heroic dramas that have been perverted into tragedies that go nowhere. But there is good news. The way to change a tragic drama back into a heroic one is to open the secret, speak of it to someone, write another ending, examine one's part in it and one's attributes in enduring it. These learnings are equal parts pain and wisdom. The having lived through it is a triumph of the deep and wild spirit." Please know there's no secret too shameful to share. We're all humans. We all know what it is like to feel emotion, even children. Children are some of the most empathetic beings out there, and we were all one of them at some point. So even those who want to act like they don't understand really on some level do. And if they treat you as if they don't, they're the wrong ones, not you, you know? So don't be afraid to open your heart up and share any level of quote unquote shame. There's nothing too dirty to share. Estes says in the book, "Everyone makes poor choices in words or deeds before they know any better, and before they realize what consequences will be. There is nothing on this planet or in this universe that is outside the bounds of forgiveness. Nothing. Oh no, you're saying, this one thing I did is totally without pardon. I said nothing that a human may have done, is doing, or might do is outside the bounds of forgiveness. Nothing. The self is not a punitive force that rushes about punishing women, men, and children. The self is a wildish God who understands the natures of creatures. It is often hard for us to act right, especially when the basic instincts, including intuition, are cut away. Then it is difficult to speculate on outcome before rather than after the fact. The wildish soul has a deep, compassionate side that takes this into account. A secret will find its way to the light. Even if you don't choose to give it open expression, it will find its way to be expressed in other areas of your life. It may be expressed through that one person that you can't stand for absolutely no reason, and for whatever reason you cannot stop yourself from hating their absolute guts. But secretly, they remind you of someone or something. It shows up in that guy that you keep dating, or those men that you keep dating, that just you follow after like relentlessly, although they treat you horribly because they remind you of something, but you don't really know how to admit it. You're just like, I don't know, they treat me wonderful, It comes up in that random comment from a woman on the bus that you remember literally 5 years later in the shower, and you just keep replaying it over and over and over again, and you just don't know why. That is the secret somehow finding its way to trickle out, but you're not letting it, so it's finding its way in other little mischievous, mysterious ways in your psyche to pop up and remind you, hey, what's up? I'm still here. All right. So the story. In this chapter, the story Estes shares is the woman with hair of gold. There was a very strange but beautiful woman with long golden hair as fine as spun gold. She was poor and without mother or father, and lived in the woods alone, and wove upon a loom made of black walnut boughs. A brute, who was the son of a coal burner, tried to force her into marriage, and in an effort to buy him off, she gave him some of her golden hair. But he did not know or care that it was spiritual, not monetary gold that she gave him. So when he sought to trade her hair for merchandise in the marketplace, people jeered at him and thought him mad. Enraged, he returned by night to the woman's cottage, and with his own hands murdered her and buried her body in the river. For a long time, no one noticed that she was missing. No one inquired of her health or health. But in her grave, the woman's golden hair grew and grew. The beautiful hair curled and spiraled upwards through the black soil, and it grew looping and twirling more and more and up, until her grave was covered by a field of swaying gold reeds. Shepherds cut the curly reeds to make flutes, and when they played them, the tiny flutes sang and would not stop singing. Here lies the woman with golden hair, murdered in her grave, killed by the son of the coal burner because she wished to live. And that is how the man who took the life of the woman with the golden hair was discovered and brought to justice, so that those who live in the wild woods of the world, like we do, were safe once more. Okay. A little gruesome. But the purpose of the story is actually about how after the woman died, nothing could stop, not even death, not even burying in the soil could stop that secret from coming through. It could not, the truth could not be silenced. That's what I actually wrote in my notes. The woman of the story was alone. She wished to be unbothered, and she represents that part of ourselves in our deeper psyche that is alone and unbothered and just wishes to create and just be in their own little heaven place. In the book, Estes says, "It is this self-contained wilder woman that is the most injured by trauma, or by the keeping of a secret. This integral sense of self that needs not have much around itself in order to be happy. This heart of the female psyche who weaves in the forest on the black walnut loom and is at peace there. This woman in the story is not missed, and often the woman in our psyche who inhabits that deep personal place is not missed by the outside world or known to the outside world to be missed, and then sometimes not by ourselves as well when a secret has killed her. When she leaves, she just leaves the shadow of the inner woman who used to be there. She's visible in the eyes of the woman as a whole, but the woman can't feel her there any longer. And although others may see her absence, they may choose to willingly or accidentally extinguish her further. This story is a promise that even without life, that the inner woman will push through the dirt and sing the truth. When a woman keeps a shameful secret, all the blame, insult, and torture that she fears from the outside, she does to herself on the inside. The inner woman doesn't bury and she refuses to forget, so she throws the shameful dirt into view wherever she can. Often, shame erupts in dreams, as we know, so we have to interpret our dreams because they are often the gateway to our secrets. A lot of women are secretly punishing themselves on the inside based on keeping a secret, a shameful secret. Because instead of letting the outside world insult her, damn her, just hurt her for letting the secret out, she just does it to herself by keeping it in. As with all things in the life, death, life nature, what kills us can also bring us life. So, once you allow that secret to erupt, once you are able to release it, that gives you the scars to join the battle. No, to join the Scar Clan. And those battle wounds are like trophies to share with the world. In the book, Estes says, "What stands behind the formation of fairy tale wisdom is the fact that for both women and men, woundings to the self, soul, and psyche through secrets and otherwise are part of most persons' lives. Neither can the subsequent scarring be avoided, but there is help for these injuries, and absolutely there is healing." So there's no avoiding these things. Everyone has the secrets that cause them the wound in the first place. But to join the Scar Clan, you have to heal the wound, and therefore that wound is the trophy of your initiation. And also, scars are stronger than skin. So, now we get into how to actually heal the wound. First, I wanted to share a little story, a little example Estes shared of a woman and how the wound of a secret permeates to all levels of your life, to all areas of life, and it spreads. One woman whose husband 40 years earlier had committed suicide 3 months after they were married, was urged by his family not only to hide the evidence of his major depressive illness, but also her deep emotional grief and anger from that time. As a result, she developed a dead zone regarding his anguish, her anguish, as well as her rage at the cultural stigma attached to the entire event. She allowed the husband's family to betray her by agreeing to their request that she never reveal the fact of their cruel treatment of her husband over the years. And each year on the anniversary of her husband's suicide, there was a dead silence from the family. No one called to say, "How are you feeling? Would you like some company? Do you miss him? I know you must. Shall we go out and do something together?" The woman dug her husband's grave once more and buried her grief alone, year after year. Eventually, she began to avoid other days of commemoration, anniversaries and birthdays, including her own. The dead zone spread from the center of the secret outward, not only overtly covering the commemorative events, but then stretching to celebratory events and even beyond. All of these familial and friendship events were disparaging by the woman. All of these familial and friendship events were disparaged by the woman, who overtly considered them a waste of time. To her unconscious, however, they were empty gestures, for no one had come close to her in her times of despair. Her chronic grief, that shameful secret-keeping, had eaten her into the areas of her psyche that govern relatedness. Most often, we wound others where or very close to where we have been wounded ourselves. Wow. Okay, y'all. That didn't hit me as hard quite the first time, but I just kind of realized something about my own personal life because of a moment there, which happens quite a lot when I share these chapters with you guys. Ugh, okay. It's so interesting how the pain of like female friendships like is like not seen as like this big deal, but like I'm realizing as I get into adulthood, like it's so much more influential to your adult life than a lot of other relationships, I think. It's wow. It's insane. I don't know, maybe I'll share more about that later in the video, but back to the subject. Since I'm not editing this, I need to stay focused. Yeah, to stop the spread of the wound of the secret, a woman has to share the secret. So, not just to anyone, but you have to start with sharing it with a trusted someone. Someone who can show the heart, the tenderness that it's been longing for, that healing that it's been needing since the trauma happened. Estes says in the book, if a woman desires, however, to retain all her instincts and abilities to move freely within her psyche, she can reveal her secret or secrets to one trustworthy human being and recount them as many times as necessary. A wound is usually not disinfected once and then forgotten, but is tended to and washed several times while it heals. When a secret is finally told, the soul needs more response than, oh really, that's too bad, or oh well, life is tough, from both the teller and the listener. The teller has to try not to depreciate the matter, and it is a blessing if the listener is a person who can listen with a full heart and can wince, shiver, and feel a ray of pain cross his or her own heart and not collapse. Part of healing from a secret is to tell it so that others are moved by it. In this way, a woman begins to recover from shame by receiving the succor and tending she missed during the original trauma. See what you see, say it to someone. It is never too late. If you feel you cannot say it aloud, write it down for them. Choose a person whom you instinctively believe to be trustworthy. The can of worms you are worried about opening is far better off being out there. The can of worms you're see, this is what I usually edit out, guys. I got distracted by Gerard's cough. The can of worms you're worried about opening is far better off being out there than festering inside yourself. If you prefer, seek a therapist who knows how to deal with secrets. This will be a person of mercy with no particular drum to bang about right or wrong, about who knows the difference between guilt and remorse, and about the nature of grieving and resurrection of spirit. Whatever the secret is, we understand that it is now part of our work for life. Redemption heals a once open wound, but there will be a scar nevertheless. With changes of weather, the scar can and will ache again. That is the nature of a true grief. I usually also edit out when I burp because all of that reading out loud causes me to burp a lot. You guys are really getting to see behind the scenes here. I hope this is not too obnoxious. Please let me know in the comments. So, back to the story. Okay, I know it's, yeah. Tell your secrets, guys, and keep telling them over and over and over again. Let them free first to one special, certain someone who you can truly, truly trust. And then as you grow stronger, as your psyche and your inner wild woman receives that tender love, that understanding, that validation that you're okay, begin to use that strength to share your secret even more. I find this really interesting because I've always thought that sharing my story has been like a really important thing to me. Like literally since I was a little girl, I've always thought it was a really big deal to remember everything that happens to me, because I'm like, anything that happens to you, you have to share your story with the whole world because other people can learn from your stories. But also, I never really thought about and realized how important it is just for you also to share your story. That like, yes, some stories should be kept to yourself, or can be kept to yourself if you so choose, because it's nice and it's sweet, but there's no story that has to be kept to yourself. There's no story that needs to be, and in fact, the more stories you tell, including the shameful ones, including the secrets, the more of those that you tell, the more healing you do for yourself and the world. Because not only are you giving someone else understanding that they're not alone, you're also allowing your heart the opening to see that you're not alone. Wow, that felt so corny. And there's so many moments in so many of my videos that I say the corniest stuff, and I usually think about it afterwards and then take out this pause break. And anyways, gonna go back to reading. So the next thing in the book, Estes says, the final thing is, although there will be scars and plenty of them, it is good to remember that in tensile strength and ability to absorb pressure, a scar is stronger than skin. I tried to mention that earlier, but that's what I was referring to. Yes, scars are stronger than skin, so wear them with a badge of pride, my lovelies. And on that note, this video is about to be 30 minutes long, so I'm probably not going to share the whole story right now, which is kind of lucky for me because I'm still kind of uncomfortable sharing the whole story right now, to be honest. But there's been this thing, this story that it's really, really, really serious, y'all, and like kind of sad. And like I haven't wanted to bring it up because I feel like there's a lot of sad stuff going on in the world right now, and I don't want to contribute to that. I just want to be a place of healing and happiness and all of that. But at the same time, I do feel that there's a time and place for, you know, talking about things that have scars, about secrets, about things that hurt. And it's something that I've been desiring to talk to you guys about for a while. I do talk to you guys about a lot of things, so many things, but there's like a couple things that have been just like permeating on my mind. I'm being so vague right now and not telling you guys what I'm talking about, because I don't want to be called on it later. But yeah, I guess want to eventually share more of those things, but I don't want to put like negative pressure on you guys at this time. And if you guys don't want to hear that, you can totally like actually dislike the video. Like if you don't want to, you know, hear about like deep, like kind of maybe like sad life situations on my channel anytime soon, dislike this video. If you want to hear about maybe tragic stuff and like actually like talk about some deep things, in the next coming weeks, like the video. Okay, so if you got to this part and you actually heard me say that, like, yeah, please do that. That will let me know actually, like, whether or not you guys want to hear that and whether or not I should do it, because I'm really not sure if this is the climate too, or if this is actually the perfect climate too, because this is a great time to be healing or whatever. We have time to heal. So let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what you guys think. If you could leave a comment about this, of just like the whole not editing thing. If this is super obnoxious, just let me know. I'll edit next time. It'll just take me a little longer, okay? So I just wanted to try this out. If you don't like it, if you absolutely hate it, let me know. Okay, yeah, and on that note, subscribe. Next video will be coming soon, depending on whether or not you guys want me to edit it or not. Okay, love you. Bye!